Hello and welcome to our Gold Learning viewers. I'm Fiona Lang-Sharp, IBCLC Director of Communications here at Gold Learning. Well, welcome back everyone today, and here I am again with one of my favorite people, Karen Strange. Welcome back to Gold Perinatal, Karen. It's lovely to have you.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Yes, and we're very excited because, of course, you're going to be speaking on the 5 most common failures in neonatal resuscitation coming up very soon at our Gold Perinatal Conference. But before we get into chatting about the presentation and the conference itself, I would love it if you would just introduce yourself to our listening audience today and tell them a little bit about what you do and perhaps where you even are.
Okay, great. So let's see, I'm in Colorado right now, and just to make everybody jealous, it's incredibly beautiful, and it'll be like 93 degrees today, dry, sunny, warm, lovely. What do I do? So I travel around mostly the U.S. I have a few international trips coming up. I teach neonatal resuscitation, mostly to home birth midwives, but I do get doctors and neonatologists and nurses, doulas, educators. I love to lecture. I'd like to lecture more, specifically helping people understand the baby's experience of birth, how to slow down birth a little bit, and then how to observe the embryological blueprint embedded in birth. And those are like my passions. And then how to help babies integrate and make sense of what happened at birth. That's some of what I really love to talk about, and I really love to help people feel confident and competent in how to resuscitate babies, because it's such a rare event. I really want them to know what to do and how to do it, even though they don't do much of it.
Right. Well, that's awesome. And I know particularly how passionate you are. I've known you for a few years now, and I know our conversations are always off the scale on this topic and many others. But this, again, being reminded of where the clarity comes into play for you is definitely a big focus on the baby's experience. And that always strikes me as so important. Like, you relay the message of how that baby is feeling through that experience and, the things that can be shifted because of that to really support, a resuscitation that is gentle, kind, and thoughtful, and not panicked, rushed, and over the top, and those are the things that I'm always reminded of when I meet up with you. You just exude that positive energy around this topic, even though it can be a very serious topic, but also being competent and confident in this area is, of course, imperative to being successful as well. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Fiona. I want to take you with me.
All right. We're on the road. Well, here we are. We're on the road here at Gold Perinatal Online. And I know that it's coming up really soon. Just a quick reminder, because we were chatting about the day that Karen is going to be here actually live at our Gold Perinatal Conference. That is going to be Monday, October 22nd. For most people around the world, please go to our website and you can check out time zones and when exactly it is. So if you'd love to come and meet up with Karen live, do it on that day. If you can't come for the live, of course, you're always invited to come for the recording, and you'll have an opportunity to connect with her offline as well through our exclusive forums for our delegates. Well, let's get into a couple of other things now, Karen, because, I always like to do a little investigation with our speakers and find out what's been happening in their world and perhaps what they're currently working on. So perhaps you want to share a little bit what's coming up for you, maybe the last part of this year and maybe into next year.
Great. Well, of course, I'm scheduling workshops into next year, but my big project right now, I have 2 big projects. One is my hope to do a presentation on fetal heart tone patterns and understanding what they mean and how to read them, because I'm not sure that we're so aware of always what the fetal heart tones are showing us. So that's one thing. And then a presentation on that midwives and healthcare providers can share with their local EMS service about what midwives do, why they would be called, and mostly updating them on the difference between neonatal resuscitation and CPR.
Ah,
Because there is a bit of a difference, and I will be going through a little bit of that in the presentation that I'm doing on October 22nd. So,
oh, great.
yeah. So, and then what am I doing at home? Well, I'm really trying to integrate my last bit of massive travel. So I'm spending time with my husband, going for walks with the doggies in the mountain. I have two beautiful, sweet golden retrievers. So we're trying to spend as much time outdoors as fall is starting to set in and the nights are cool. And so that's mostly what I'm doing.
Well, that's good. It sounds like a nice, it sounds balanced. You're making it sound very balanced, which I know many of us try to achieve, in our work-life balance with travel and workshops, and, our partners and our animals. It's good. We're all striving to get there, I think, and that's what we do in our life on a day-to-day basis. But it's great to hear that you're getting some of those things into your life too, which is really important. I know how busy and it can get stressful, when you've got lots going on. So thanks for sharing a little bit about what's happening. Let's move into our presentation that you're going to be talking and sharing about on that Monday, October 22nd. So why don't you tell us what you're most excited about sharing about this particular presentation, and really what you're really hoping, just a snippet of what you're hoping people are going to learn from you and take away.
Great. So, so let's see. So, because I've taught so many classes, because I've done so many hours of debriefs, I get to hear what gets missed, where there's a little confusion, where there's some hesitation, maybe there's a little inaccurate information. But I've heard this over and over, and I really tried to put all of that into the 5 top, or the 5 most common, failures in neonatal resuscitation. So I'm really going to make that clear. But as I go through all of that, I'm going to help you really understand what you're doing, what you're there to be doing, because it's not just what you do, it's how you are always. But yeah, I want people, as you said earlier, to feel confident and competent, and that is the goal in the topics, the 5 most common failures that I'm going to go through. As I said, I'm going to talk a little bit about EMS. I'm going to talk about best practices in neonatal resuscitation. So again, my goal is always for people to feel like they know what to do, they really know what to do, they have the confidence and the competence to actually do it. Because I think it's the knowing, that the confidence that you have of knowing, seeing how your baby's responding, and then responding appropriately. And of course, there are many things you can do, but my focus is always on the simplest, gentlest, most appropriate thing that you can do for the baby, which hopefully is the least traumatic thing to do for a baby. Even though there are many different things that you can do, my focus is the least traumatic.
Absolutely. And that's a great note to always be reminded of, the least traumatic. Keep the focus on the baby. So the least traumatic that you can do to an infant who needs support in that immediate moment. So, well, many things I could pick out of that conversation that you just came up with. I know the EMS, things that I haven't thought about, CPR, what's the difference, in terms of neonatal resuscitation. So this is going to be good. I feel like I know what's coming up, and there's that anticipation building now, so I'm excited. Thank you so much for sharing just a snippet. I know that this is going to be a great day. If you have never had the opportunity to listen to Karen Strange, please come on October 22nd. You will not be disappointed in this event for sure. Karen is renowned in her field and has been working on this for many years, and the feedback is always phenomenal. And I'm not meant to embarrass you, Karen, but it really is. It's a good opportunity for all of us to come together to learn with you again, and we're grateful that you're here spending that time at Perinatal. So thanks for sitting down and joining us today and sharing that you are in the most beautiful place in the world right now. It seems it's nice and warm, so that's good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Fiona.
And thank you again for our listening audience. We'll look forward to seeing you at our perinatal conference. A couple of other dates that I want to make sure that you are reminded of. October 1st is our kickoff date. That's right. Christina Hibbert is going to be here, and she is our opening keynote person this year. So make sure that you come for October 1st. Check your time zone, of course, online. And our closing keynote this year is going to be James McKenna. He'll be joining us on the 29th. Both of those presentations are open access and free to you, so all you need to do is register for them. If you can't join us on the day for the events, you know that you can always listen to the recordings. Well, thank you again to Karen Strange, and of course to our listening audience. Bye-bye for now, everyone.